The hero of our today's issue is distinguished by its impressive size to the point of armament. He is also doing well, and everything would be fine. But a couple of months a year, he completely tears off the roof, and it's definitely better to stay away from him. Hello, friends, you are on the channel Animal Instinct, and today we have a moose in the review. Do not forget to rate this video and subscribe to the channel. If it's not already, we're already starting to do it. Meet this moose is a very recognizable forest dweller because thanks to his powerful body and long horns are unlikely to be confused with anyone. And by the way, this is the largest representative of the family deer that reach a body length of up to 10 feet and weigh up to 1,300 pounds, and its height at the withers can reach 7-8 feet. And it is quite scary to meet such an animal in the forest, especially since it has huge, branched horns with a span of almost 7 feet and weighing up to 70 pounds. These ungulates are common in the northern hemisphere, where they choose a site necessarily with a forest, and it is very desirable near small rivers, lakes, or a balloon. So they are perfectly suited to the faces of Eurasia as well as North America. And actually, there are only two types of moose, European and American, although in some places both species coexist on the same territory. And some scientists consider them subspecies of the same species. These are herbivores that eat literally everything in a row. Lichens and even mushrooms are collected by these forest dwellers, and fly agarics. For example, moose use tree fruits, berries, various plant shoots, shrubs, leaves, and even tree bark as medicine. These animals are used, and each moose eats up to 77 pounds of feed a day, and they often damage young forest plantings. And if there is food in the forest, it's not enough that moose can shamelessly come out to a person. Of course, what should he be afraid of with such and such sizes? For example, this horned, handsome man calmly grazes next to a person's house and does not pay attention to anything. And this young moose decided to climb into someone else's yard to eat apples. Moreover, he was not scared by the robot lawnmower that the elk knocked out the hooves with one blow. Just listen to the sound. Apparently the moose there are quite smart and know how to deal with such a technique because it distracts them from their favorite business-eating apples. It is worth saying that despite their harmless appearance, these are dangerous animals, and you should never approach them because you never know what is on the mind of an elk right now and what to expect from him. But to knock down a person and trample him with hooves for moose, just spit their front hooves, have a sharp cut, and in combination with a large mass, they can easily cause serious injury. So it's very rash to walk next to a moose like this, and even more so to offer him alcoholic beverages. But this moose is not stupid and, of course, refused beer. But what they won't refuse is mineral water. By the way, the hooves of moose are used only for protection, but not in mating matches. Horns are used there, which, despite their size, are much less traumatic. Probably everyone knows that moose love salt, but not everyone knows that it is necessary for the animal for proper digestion because there is practically no sodium chloride in the plant foods. Its lack leads to a violation of the production of hydrochloric acid in moose. Never miss a moment to eat salt. In the summer, they are looking for salt marshes in the forest, and in winter they can go out on the road because often the roads are sprinkled with salt, which means they turn in a long, free salt marsh. But it is very dangerous for moose because they can be blinded or frightened by moving cars and get under the wheels. In addition, they become extremely clumsy on asphalt, and drivers need to be extremely careful when they drive along a forest road because the animal may appear unexpectedly, and it is very difficult to avoid collisions, but some moose figured out what was what, and they move along the dividing line. Just look at how huge this male is. Though you never know what you can expect better from this mountain of muscles, do not drive near the moose because they can easily attack the car, and such holes in the body of the car can leave moose horns, Of course, the old ladies of them in general, moose consider themselves masters of the forest and do not wait for anyone to visit them, so if you chase the elk, his patience will quickly end, and he will show what he is capable of. It's good that the driver quickly realized and turned on the reverse gear, although not everyone has time to react so quickly. The same applies to snowmobiles in the Luzerne forest. Love this technique and, if possible, always express their dissatisfaction. But the Soho themselves are not averse to running along the ski track and cleanly arrange a competition with vacationers. There this time the moose came out the winner. So these are not easy guys, and dogs certainly should be afraid of the moose, because only one hoof strike, and the dog, it will be good to lie on the rocks, that the reaction, and does not fail, and the doggy keeps the distance. These dogs immediately ran away. Only the moose went on the offensive, true in Russia. As always, some wrong dogs, and they are already chasing the moose, but this is rather an exception to the rules. But with wolves, it is already more difficult. They are smart and strong and often act in a pack besides. They swim perfectly and can chase moose, even on the water. And there is a video about them on the channel, by the way. But even wolves try to attack only calves because they are unlikely to be able to cope with an adult moose. But here, the defense went wrong with the first kick of the mother censor calf into a knockdown, but she continues to fiercely defend the cub, and soon the calf gets to its feet, and the wolves are left with nothing. And here is another interesting video in which a wolf attacked an adult moose. This one went into the water, but the wolf did not stop the predator. The moose does not stop trying to attack the moose and meets it with hoofbeats. The wolf even manages to cling to the moose, although this does not particularly interfere with Soho there. I will throw the predator into myself. The moose just went down the river. And thanks to the long legs, he goes where the wolf has to swim. In the end, the predator stops chasing, though it seems to me he could be confused by the drone after all. At the last moment, the wolf noticed him anyway. The elk did the right thing by going deeper into the water. In general, his legs are so long that the elk can run along the river even in a place where people are sailing on a boat. But a couple of months a year, they become especially aggressive because in the fall, the moose starts rutting. At this time, the males are intolerant of literally anyone they meet, and there are serious fights between them. Such fights look very exciting, but the fighters rarely cause injuries to each other. But they do not pay attention to the environment and can figure out their relationship right on the road. And this is the city of Zarechny, Penza region. And there are often leggings and contractions right in the courtyard of houses in front of local residents. And I was very worried about a parked car, but in the end she also got it. And the female stood aside all this time and watched the applicants figure out their relationship with each other. It is worth saying that unlike deer, moose are considered monogamous and rarely mate with more than one female, but I caught a unique video near one male. There are two females at once, and already they are starting battles for such a handsome. And the male does not interfere and just waits for the end of the fight. Pregnancy lasts about 230 days, after which, as a rule, one calf is born, and after that, the assessment becomes extremely aggressive. A cub from any encroachment, even a cyclist passing in the distance can become a target if a moose considers him dangerous. It's good that in this case everything went well. What can we say about a car that is so unceremoniously chasing a female with moose? Of course, the mother will selflessly protect the cubs, and she will even attack a grizzly bear, although it is usually bad jokes with him. Even an adult moose is quite a common prey for him, but apparently the mood of the mother here played on her. And the bear ran back. Although he is not small at all, and this is not an isolated case. Here the moose turned into the flight of another grizzly, although he is younger than the previous one. As for the number, there are about 1.5 million moose every year. Their number is growing. This cannot but rejoice because the animal has taken root well by man, even despite the permitted hunting and anthropogenic impact. However, some moose still suffer from people. For example, this poor guy is stuck in a puddle with fuel oil, and only the help of caring people helped Soho there to get out of this captivity. That's all. I hope you liked this horned forest dweller. Then I am very glad if you rate it. Write in the comments what other animal do you want to see on the review. Subscribe to the channel, and do not forget to turn on the alert, and I say goodbye to you for a while yet. If you like the issue, please support it with a like, comment, subscribe, and we promise to do the best for you. See you soon in the next video.